Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hope that you are looking forward to a good weekend. Wanted to give a quick update on where we are in monitoring COVID cases and then a brief update ahead of our budget town halls. So to jump right in, the Department of Behavioral and Community Health is currently monitoring 665 active cases. Now that is down from the average of 720 last month. I'm going to offer this. There's a couple local media outlets that provide daily cases. Very important information from one day to the next. But what we look at are obviously trends and sort of the averaging out of data, which is useful because on one day we could have a spike or a significant decrease, but that could be altered by a couple other days of sort of leveling off. That said, on average, we have definitely stayed below the 700 active cases, the 720, which was the average in September, and we're now, as I said, monitoring 665. So what we're seeing currently is sort of a slow decline, if you will, in active cases and new cases coming on. So over the last month, August 22nd through September the 18th, which is almost well, I guess that's last month, but the largest amount of new cases are in the 10 to 19 years of age group, which also happens to be among the lowest vaccination rates, at 19% of new cases, followed by those who are 30 to 39 years of age, and that represents 16% of all new cases. Now, of those individuals who interviewed and answer the question, 79% of all new cases were not fully vaccinated. So this has remained relatively stable. We've been in the 75 to 76, 78% range of new cases being among those, new positive cases being among those who self-identify as either having not been fully vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. I'm not offering a judgment. The data simply provides us some insight as to new cases and who we're seeing either hospitalized or sadly who might be succumbing to the virus. So we're averaging 2,072 tests a day. That's over the last 7 days. Our testing volume has increased. That's mostly because there are employers that either require or are required to have employees either vaccinated or test every week. And again, not offering an opinion on that. It's just there are certain requirements that some employers, and of course the state has imposed on some employers, and we are seeing an increase in the number of tests. The good news, of course, is that it gives us an opportunity to kind of see where the virus is or isn't. And as I said, we are seeing a steady hold and decline in active cases, and you see that playing out in all of our basic data points. In the month of September, for instance, we were under 2,000 tests per day, and we're now hovering and consistently above that 2,000 a day. We're averaging 68 new cases daily, and the 7-day rolling positivity rate is 3.19%. And now that has to do with lower number of new positive cases and the higher number of tests, but we've been below 4% for over 3 weeks, and this week, in fact, we're below 3% on several, at least one of the days this last week. So we feel as if we're in a position where, frankly, I will say that we would not treat this as a public health emergency. We would respond to individual cases and scenarios that might cause particular risk. But overall, in Dutchess County, the steadying of new cases, the reduction and decline in active cases, and the slow but still somewhat decline below 4% and at some point below 3% of the positivity rate suggests to us that we have, we're not in a position where we would treat this as a countywide public health emergency. There were 25 individuals hospitalized. That is a number we continue to monitor. And of course, sadly, 496 of our neighbors have died to the virus. Now, within that hospitalization information, we're seeing, and we average this out for folks, we're seeing 25.6 patients on average over the last 2 weeks. 73% of those in the hospital are either partially or not vaccinated at all. 27% are fully vaccinated within that average. And again, we offer that as information, data that we're able to use at least to shine some light on what we're seeing countywide, and of course guide us in some of our decisions as well. On average, the age breakdown of those who are hospitalized is this: 2% are birth to 18 years of age, 7% 19 to 44 years of age, 42% are 45 to 64 years of age, and 49% are 65 years of age and greater. Now, within the vaccination information, we are nearing 80% of adults being vaccinated in Dutchess County. We're now at 77.9, so let's call it 78% of 18-year-olds and older in Dutchess have received at least one of their vaccine doses. Now, the highest rate of vaccination is among those who are 55 years of age or greater, and that runs between 86 and 99.5%. Now, this is important because we do know that the vulnerability of older individuals, unvaccinated, is significant. And the vaccination rates among those who are older, not that 55 years of age is old, not at all, but those who are above 55 years of age are in the 86 to nearly 100% vaccination rate, depending on age. And that is very, very important and very useful and good information. And it advises us that we've made significant progress among those who simply by age and some other life issues like ailments, etc., are more vulnerable and ultimately are and do have a much higher vaccination rate. Now, the county continues to provide vaccination clinics. You can visit 29 North Hamilton Street. That's the Family Partnership Center. That's Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've opened the JCPenney's location. That's been open at the Poughkeepsie Galleria. We're offering both first, second, and booster shots. All three vaccines are available at this site, and vaccinations operate every Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. and every Saturday from 9 to 12 p.m. So there is a clinic again tomorrow, 9 to 12 p.m. at the Poughkeepsie Galleria at the former JCPenney's location. All of our clinics are walk-in, but please do bring your CDC vaccine card to validate whether you're getting your second or booster shots. And if you want more information, visit dutchessny.gov/COVID vaccine. So dutchessny.gov/COVID vaccine for more information. Additionally, as you know, and we mentioned, there is a requirement among some employers for their employees to either be vaccinated or tested regularly, or you might be traveling and there might be some activity or event you might be participating in where having a negative test is necessary. The JCPenney's location is open. These tests are no cost. And we're open Tuesdays from 3 to 7 p.m., Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m., and Saturdays 9 to noon. And that is for testing. Now, these are both tests are available, the lower nasal swab or the saliva PCR test with results between 24 and 48 hours, although I had a resident reach out, there's always sometimes the labs lose or misplace or don't get that information back to you quick enough. But again, to reiterate that, the former JCPenney's location is open Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to noon for testing, and testing is available at no charge. Either the lower nasal swab or the saliva PCR, both are available, and we ask you to visit dutchessny.gov for more information about that. So, glad, but by every indication, the data points that we're monitoring have plateaued and are on a slow decline. I wouldn't call it a steady or fast decline, but we are moving those numbers in the right direction. And from our estimation, I would say to you that we would respond to this, ordinarily in a sort of a case-by-case or community-by-community basis. But here's where we are. That's some information that I hope is of interest and useful to you. It is useful to us, and we'll continue to advise those of our partners in the healthcare, education, other community organizations as to where we are. But that is where we are. One other thing that we wanted to cover, in just a few weeks, I am required to deliver to the public and to all of you and into the county legislature my proposed budget for the upcoming year. So later this month, I'll release the 2022 budget for consideration by the county legislature. Leading up to both that presentation and budget adoption by the legislature later in November, we'll be holding a series of town hall meetings. These will be, I think we're nearly 200 town hall meetings since I became county executive in 2012. I value them. These are focused on the county budget and county government activities, but you can join us at a number of them. Let's do those quickly. First, next Monday at 3 p.m., October the 18th, will be at the Poughkeepsie Senior Center. That's on Abe's Way in the town of Poughkeepsie. On the 19th of October, next Tuesday at 6 p.m., we'll be at the Beekman Recreation Center. That's 29 Recreation Center Road in Hopewell Junction. That's the address, but it's in the town of Beekman. On October 20th at 6 p.m. at Wilcox Memorial Town Hall. That's the Milan Town Hall at Wilcox Circle in the town of Milan. And on November 9th at 6 p.m., we'll be at the East Fishkill Town Hall, and that's on Route 376 in the town of East Fishkill. Now, on the 27th of October at, I think, 11 a.m., we'll be releasing the budget, and that night, 5:30 p.m., we'll hold our annual telephone town hall for budget consideration. So I hope you participate in one way or another. Remember, this is focused on county activity and the and budget proposal. But my 2022 budget will, as I said, will release in a few weeks. We did today announce certain initiatives to support our veterans. We'll be talking a lot more about mental health services, support for young people, our Think Differently initiative, and investment in infrastructure and parks. It'll be a great opportunity to talk about those initiatives. Now, I do want you to know, however, that the 2022 budget continues our commitment to lowering taxes in Dutchess County. This represents and will represent the 8th consecutive property tax cut that we're offering. This will be approximately $5 million in tax reduction. That is, in fact, the largest property tax cut in Dutchess County history. Additionally, a 10% cut in the Dutchess County government tax rate. And we'll be eliminating the sales tax on clothing and footwear purchases up to $110. So to reiterate, we'll release the budget in just a few weeks, October 27th. Please join us at one of our town hall meetings, whether it be in person at those locations identified and here, or here. Over here, and or our telephone town hall at 5:30 p.m. on October 27th. This budget will include a commitment and expansion of services in the area of mental health, veterans, seniors, youth services, and investment in parks, infrastructure, and domestic violence, all issues that we know are critically important for us to confront and priorities within the community. We, of course, work together with our stakeholders and Republicans and Democrats, supervisors, mayors, county legislators in the hopes of crafting a budget that meets the need both today and makes an investment in our community for tomorrow. It also includes the 8th consecutive reduction in the Dutchess County tax levy. This is just over $5 million, the largest property tax cut in the history of the county, along with a 10% reduction in the county's tax rate and an elimination pursuant to New York state law, an elimination of sales tax on footwear and clothing purchases up to $110. And so we look forward to a conversation about the proposed budget. Hope you can participate in one way or another in our town hall meetings. And in the meantime, we encourage you, obviously, to stay healthy, keep strong, and be kind to each other.